Namo Namaha, Bhavtam Sarvesham, Hardam Swagatam. Welcome back to my channel Sanskrit Sopanam. I hope you are doing great. I'm also good. And continuing in a series, Learning Sanskrit through Gita, today we will decode the 22nd shloka of the chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita. And through this shloka, we are going to encounter a new suffix, a new pratyay, that is tavyat suffix. And also we'll take a look at two verb roots. Generally, we only have a single verb root, a single dhatu. But in this shloka, we'll encounter two verb roots or two dhatu. So a grammatically rich shloka, but still easy to understand. And again, we will decode it step by step. So no need to worry. And without wasting any more time, let's quickly dive in today's video. Okay, so this is the shloka for today. Let me go through the shloka once. Yavadetan nirikshyeham yodukaman vasthitana kairmaya saha yodhavyam sminaran samudyame. So this is the shloka for today, and this is the Sandhi Vichhed section of the shloka. So you see the long words Yavadetan nirikshiham. This is opening as individual words. Again, Yodukaman avasthitan. This is also opening as two separate words. Same, this very long word Yodavyam asminran samudyame. This opens as Yodavyam asmin. So this particular shloka is having quite a lot of words joining together using Sandhi rules. Let me chant this one also. Yavat etan nirikshe aham yodukaman avasthitan keh maya saha yodhavyam asmin ran samudyame. So this is how this shloka opens up. And whatever Sandhi is happening, everything is given in the PDF file. Okay, so do download that PDF file. All the Sandhi details in the PDF file. Go through it. I will just move on from here. So yes, let's start decoding the shloka. And as usual, we start with an anchor word, a verb, a kriya pad. So this nirikshe, this is coming from here. Etan nirikshe aham. Nirikshe simply meaning I inspect. I carefully inspect. This is the sense this nirikshe word is giving. And this particular verb form, kriya pad, this comes from this dhatu, iksha. Iksha dhatu, verb root. This simply means to inspect or to observe. That is the sense here. And this particular verb root, this particular dhatu in first person, that is Uttam Purush. Why first person? Because Arjuna, he is saying that I observe, I inspect. So since in speaker, the speaker himself is doing the action, that is first person. So in first person, single, ekvachan, because a single character. And in present tense that is lit lakar in Sanskrit, in these three properties, this particular verb root dhatu, it changes as ikshe. And with the prefix, with the upsarga nir, the entire verb form, it becomes nirikshe. This is how this particular verb root changes into this particular verb form, kriya pad. Nirikshe, simply meaning I inspect, I observe, I carefully observe. This is the implied sense here. And now the question is the obvious question, who? That who inspect? And the response is aham. Aham nirikshe. Aham, this comes from the base word asmad. Asmad, you already know this is the first person pronoun. Whenever we want to mention something as I, me, we, us, whatever is related to the first person, that is this particular pronoun asmad, the base word. And aham, this is the very commonly used first case form of this asmad, simply meaning I am doing the action. So I nirikshe, aham nirikshe. Arjuna is talking about himself. So in such cases, no, even if this aham, this was not given in the particular shloka, this word nirikshe, this itself is telling you that this a first person is doing the action. So this aham, this is actually redundant here. There was no need to use this aham. But again, since these verses, these are in poetry form, in poetic form, so you need to have a certain kind of poetic meter to follow. So sometimes you need to use these words or the alternatives of these words so that you can have a proper number of syllables so that it can fit into your poetic meter. So this is just a creative call that the composer takes in these cases. But grammatically, aham, this here, this is redundant. This is of no use. Nirikshe, this itself is telling you that I observe, I inspect. Okay, so just something that I thought I should mention. Anyways, the follow-up question is kan or whom. That I inspect, Arjuna is saying I observe. Whom do you observe? And the response is Etan yodukaman. That means these Kaurav warriors who are all desirous of fighting. So let us understand the individual words. So this word yodukaman, this comes from the base word, the pratipadik yodukam. Yodukam means someone who is desirous of fighting, someone who is eager to fight. So if you remember the very first shloka of Bhagavad Gita, Dharm Kshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha. So Yujutsavaha in that first shloka, this came from the base word Yujutsu. And Yujutsu also meant the same thing. Someone who is very eager to fight, someone who is desirous of fighting. And this particular word Yodukam means the same thing. Someone who is desirous of fighting. And you can understand also. See, this is a combination word, a samas. You see this particular word kam. So kam in Sanskrit, this is a very common word for desire. Okay, and Yodhu, this is referring to the war, the battle, or the fighting. And you can decode this particular samas as Yodhu kamaha yasya saha Yodhu kam. That one whose desire is to fight, that person is called Yodhu kam. This is how you can open up this samas. Okay, and this particular word Yodhu kam here is in second word case plural. So why plural? Again, very easy to understand, because Arjuna is talking about all the warriors that are eager to fight. So multiple people, so plural, bahuvachan. And why second case? Because this particular word here, the warriors here, they are the object of this action, nirikshe. So since they are the object that I inspect them, since they are the object, they are the karm. So karm usually is in second case, second word case. So in second word case, plural form, Yodhukam, this changes into Yodhukaman. Just as we know, Ram, it changes into Raman. Balak, it changes into Balakan. So same is happening here. Yodhukaman. Simply meaning, I inspect Nirikshe. I inspect all those are desirous of fighting. This is the sense here. And this etan is just a supporting pronoun that these desirous of fighting. So Arjuna must be saying this to Krishna by pointing them that these Kaurava warriors who are desirous of fighting. So this is just a supporting pronoun. This comes from the base word etad. Etad means this. So whenever we are pointing towards someone close by, we use this pronoun etad. And similar to its noun, this particular pronoun will also take the second case plural form. So etad in second case plural form also changes into etan. So etan yodukaman nirikshe. Okay, so in all, nirikshe, that means I inspect, etan, these, yodukaman, desirous of fighting warriors, that all these warriors that are so desirous of fighting. And since we know the context of Mahabharata, we know that this particular noun, this is referring to an implicit use of this Kaurava warriors. So even though this Kaurava warriors, it is not explicitly mentioned in the shloka, but again, since this is happening within the context of Mahabharata, so we can add this information on our own. That Yodhu Kaman, desirous of fighting, this is indirectly referring to these Kaurava warriors that Arjuna is pointing towards, that these Kaurava warriors. And now the question is Kidrishan, that is what like, that how these Kaurava warriors, they are described further in the shloka. And the response is Avasthitan. So Avasthitan, this comes from the Pratipadik base word Avasthit. Avasthit simply means one who is steady at his position or who is settled or arrayed. So again, since this is Avasthit, this is an adjective used for all those warriors. So this is also taking the same second case plural form. Because as we saw this here, no, etan. So all the pronouns, all the adjectives, they take the same form as its noun. So in second case plural form, this avasthit, this also changes into, okay, let me clear that, avasthitan. Simply meaning, simply referring to all those warriors, all those Kaurava warriors who were settled or who were arrayed or who were steady in their respective battle positions. This is what is the sense here. Okay, so let me move on. Now the question is, Kim kartavyam? What must be done? So this particular word kartavyam, I'll come back to it. Let me see the shloka first. Kehi yodhavyam. So these are some new words. Let us understand this word yodhavyam first. So yodhavyam, this comes from the root word yudh. Yudh root, yudh dhatu, this means to fight. And we modify this particular dhatu using the suffix tavyat. And whenever we modify any verb root, any dhatu using this particular suffix tavyat, this meaning becomes the something, the task must be done. So in simple terms, this tavyat, this changes the meaning into that action, whatever action this is combining with, it must be done, it should be done. So in Hindi we say karna chahiye. So when it combined with yudh, that means to fight, the meaning becomes must be fought. And similarly, if we see this particular word kartavyam, so this comes from the root kr. Kri means to do some work, to do. And when we modify this particular kri using again the same pratyay, tavyat, the meaning becomes that which must be done. And the modified verb becomes kartavyam. And this is again a very common word in Sanskrit. In English, this particular word translates as duty. So if you think about it, what is duty? Duty is some work that should be done, that must be done. So there is a sort of obligation there. And that sense we are deriving. Why? Because we are modifying the verb root dhatu using this particular suffix tavyat. So kim kartavyam, what must be done? And so far we have seen in the shloka that Arjuna is saying to Krishna that I observe all those Kaurava warriors who are so desirous of fighting. And then the question is, what must be done? What must be done with them? And the answer is yodhavyam, that it must be fought. The war must be fought. And kahi. Kahi, this comes from the pronoun kim. Again, kim, we already know this is our question pronoun who, whenever you want to say who. Okay, and since the sense here should be with whom the battle must be fought. So this is what Arjuna is saying, that I must observe all those with whom I must fight this battle. So with whom? So when we add this with, we know that we are using the third case. And since again multiple people, so plural. So in third case plural, this kim, it changes into kahi. Because the implied sense here is that Arjuna is saying, I must observe all those warriors, Kaurava warriors, with whom the battle must be fought. So, kahi yodhavyam, with whom the battle, again, this is implied here. We know the context already. With whom the battle must be fought, yodhavyam. This is the sense here. Okay, and with this, let us move on. And now the question is, ken saha, by who? So, see again, the same use of word case. So, we have our question pronoun kim, that means who. Then we are using third case and now single, ekvachan. So in single ekvachan, this changes into ken, simply meaning by who, ken saha. And we know with whom the battle must be fought, or those Kaurava warriors. But the question is by who this battle must be fought. And Arjuna is saying maya saha. This maya, this simply meaning by me. And this maya comes again, since a first person, Uttam Purush is talking about himself, so you already know that this is coming from this particular base word, asmad. Asmad, anything that is related to the first person, I, me, us, we, my. So asmad in third case, single form, it changes into maya. Maya simply meaning by me, that by me, this battle must be fought. This is what Arjuna is trying to convey. Okay, and you see this word no saha. So this particular avyaya indeclinable, this means the same thing with. And a lot of times, whenever you have any third case word form, this saha attaches itself to it. So this is just a common practice. And suppose we have a sentence like, I am going with him. So I am going, aham gachhami. And with him. So aham gachhami ten saha. Aham ten saha gachhami. So ten here, this means with him. And saha, this just combines with this word ten. So with him, that is the conveyed meaning here. Okay. And with this, let us move on. And lastly, the question is kutra. Kutra, you already know, is an indeclinable avyay, simply meaning where. That where this battle must be fought. And the response is ran samudyame. So this ran samudyame, this is actually a single word. I have used the hyphen to show that this is a combination word or a samas. So ran samudyame, this is a samas or combination word. Where ran, this means war. War or battle. And samudyam, this means event. And since I want to say in this war event, so I'm using this in event. So I'm changing this samudyam into its seventh case. Why? Because in seventh case we use this in something, on something. So in event, so samudyam, it changes into samudyame. And the combination word ran samudyame simply meaning in war event. Okay, this is the combination word. And if you actually want to open this samas, you think of it like in the event of war. This is the actual implied sense here, right? In the event of war. So of war, that simply means ran changes into ranasya. So another way of expanding this samas, ran samudyame, can be ranasya samudyame, meaning in the event of war. But even though we have not touched samas, but I have mentioned this point before also, that when we combine two words into a samas, into a combination word, we only combine them using the pratipadik. So we are not going to use ranasya, we are simply going to use the base word rana. So ran, it combines with samudyame. So ran samudyame in war event. And this asmin, this comes from the base word idam. This particular pronoun means this. So in this war event, so we are using this particular pronoun. And again, since all the pronouns and adjectives, they strictly follow the properties of its noun. So here the noun is in seventh case. You can already see samudyame, seventh case. So this idam also will change into the seventh case. So idam changes into asmin. And the entire word asmin ran samudyame simply meaning in this war event. This is the implied sense here. Okay. And with this, I think I have completed the shloka. So let us directly move on to the anvay, the rearrangement section. Okay, so this particular word, yavat, this is left. Yavat is an indeclinable or an avyay, and yavat simply means until. Okay, so far we know that Arjuna, in the previous shlokas we have seen this, that Arjuna says to Krishna that, oh Krishna, kindly park my vehicle in the middle of both the armies, and then he is continuing saying until whatever he is saying. So this is the sense here, that oh Krishna, kindly park my vehicle in between both armies until yavat, and let us continue. Aham nirikshe, I carefully inspect who? Etan Yodukaman, these battle hungry Kaurava warriors. Okay, and Avasthitan. Avasthitan means they are stationed, they are settled, they are positioned in their respective battle fronts, battle positions. So, until I carefully inspect these stationed battle hungry Kaurava warriors, Kahi Yodavyam. So, with whom the war must be fought, Yodavyam, Maya Saha, by me. Okay, and where? Asmin Ran Samudyame, in this war event. This is what the actual sense of the shloka is. That before the war has begun, Arjuna has requested this to Krishna, that please take my vehicle and place it in between both the armies so that I can carefully observe all the warriors who are so eager to fight and with whom this war is inevitable, with whom I must fight this war. So this is the implied sense up till here. Okay, so that was it. That was the entire decoding of the 22nd shloka. Please download the PDF file because this particular shloka has a lot of sandhis. Nothing new. All these sandhis we have covered in the previous shlokas also. But if you have not gone through them, please go through these sandhis. Please learn these rules. We have covered 22 shlokas up till now. So all these sandhi rules, they are repeating again and again. So you have lot of space, lot of words to practice them also and see how this is actually applying in an actual Sanskrit text. So please practice those sandhi rules, be aware of those sandhi rules. Very important to understand any Sanskrit text, not just Bhagavad Gita. So go through that PDF sheet and again go through the word by word decoding also. So if I have missed anything in this video, this will be available in the PDF sheet. So that is it. That was the shloka. I hope the use of the new suffix, tavyat suffix, it was clear to you. If not, you can rewind the video and you can do your own research, your own studies on Google and YouTube. So yeah, that was it. And I'll meet you in the next shloka, in the next video. Until then, keep learning, stay awesome, stay happy. Vayam puna milamaha. Dhanyavad.